this month, he announced that he is running for the GOP nomination in 2012, and today he's chatting with us about his campaign. Good morning. So good to see you.
Nice to see you.
All I do is look at Brian all day, so it's nice to have you here.
That can be painful.
It can be painful. You understand my pain. Let's get right to it. You announced that you're running over the July 4th holiday, and a lot of people have said you don't have the name recognition of a Michelle Bachmann, a Tim Pawlenty. How do you get your name out there, and what do you want the people to know about you?
Well, the first thing we've seen, this is the Republicans' social networking election. The president had one in 2008 where he showed he was a savant, and he actually got past someone no one ever thought would not be the Democratic nominee. So you have to utilize social networking. You have to take your message directly to the people, especially in caucus states like Iowa and New Hampshire, and you have to hope that the message resonates with them. We've already seen instances where people you've never heard of before, and I include myself in that, can go up very quickly and can come down very quickly. The public is attuned. They know we face great challenges, and they want to hear what somebody wants to do about it. And if they like it, they'll get behind it.
So what do you want to do about it? I mean, especially with this debt debate, we see that nobody can really find a way to compromise. Nobody seems to be able to come up with the answer. What can you do?
Well, I would argue that they shouldn't have put themselves in this position in the first place, as we all know. I think that's the frustration of the public. Secondly, I support the cut, cap, and balance approach. And I think that also we should put out for the long term to prevent this a balanced budget amendment to the states. Because that's the only way to put the sovereign people in the room with the appropriators when they make the decision. Because as you know, right now, the appropriators are not bound, and the members are not bound by that balanced budget which has worked in other states.
Well, the president said that we will get this done by August 2nd. Do you believe that?
Well, I think they will. We're getting that TARP feeling all over again. As you know, during the Wall Street bailout, we were told that it had to be done or credit would stop flowing down to Main Street, so you had to give the banks all the money. And we're hearing the same thing, where credit's not going to flow, and it's going to be Armageddon economically. But the reality remains, if they do this responsibly in the way that I've laid out, it will work. If they do not, we'll be right back where we were again sooner or later. Because the one thing that's certain about government is that even if you cut something, it grows back even bigger over time.
Do you believe in this August 2nd Armageddon theory, or do you feel that it could default and that would be okay?
Well, we were told earlier that we're going to have Armageddon in May. It's kind of like the Mayan calendar, I guess. And then they just keep moving it and moving it and moving it. Now, I think that the thing that I really think we have to focus on now is to get to the real reform that is necessary. Because we can't keep tinkering around the edges with government. We've done this paradigm before you were born. And it has to change because, as you know, in the lives we lead, everything is going towards self-government. It's going towards your empowerment on a BlackBerry to make your decisions. It's going on your laptop to try to get information from anywhere you want. Everything is making you more powerful except the federal government. And as long as that continues in place, we're going to continue to see a dichotomy between a consumer-driven economy and a big government welfare state, and it's not sustainable in the 21st century.
I don't have to tell you, a big issue around this debt debate is tax increases. And yesterday in his press conference, the president said that the Republicans want to let the wealthy keep money they don't need. How do you feel about that statement?
Well, I think it shows the hubris of the administration to tell you what you do or do not need in terms of your economic finances. Look, the more money we take out of the productive private sector and give it to the least productive sector, which is the government, to prop it up in an age where, as I've said, it's not sustainable anymore, the worse off we're going to be. We have 14 million people unemployed. You have up to 30 million people that can't switch jobs because there aren't better ones. You have inflation rising. You have real wages declining. And they're talking about money people don't need. They're talking about taking more money from the very place that we need the innovators and the workers to grow the economy so people can stop suffering under this stagnant economy.
There's also a lot of talk about where does this wealthy line fall. Do you feel it's 250,000? Do you think it's 1 million? Where do we need to define that?
Well, I know it's falling above us right now. But the reality is, I'm focused on not the government arbitrarily deciding who's rich or who's extremely wealthy, and then deciding to take their money and give it to government. Because what we have to worry about are the people who can't find jobs, the people who want to trade jobs, the people who want to grow the economy and get the dignity of self-reliance back. That, to me, is the key. And any pretext for taking money out of the private sector, out of the hands of the American people who will face the challenge of growing us out of this stagnation period into what I think will be an unprecedented period of prosperity, that, to me, is an excuse, and it's not going to work. And we can't prop up big government with $1 trillion stimulus. We're not going to prop up big government by taking more money from people that somehow the government thinks have done something wrong and deserve to be punished.
Where can we learn more about your campaign?
McCotter 2012.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Best of luck. We'll be right back.